she left and tried to get her money back. I'm surprised they didn't give her her money back.
Well, they apologized. No, they offered. They did. I think they offered her tickets to another show.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is they apologized. They shouldn't have done that at the Laugh Factory. They should have said, "Look, we're sorry you didn't have a good time, but this is what happens.
Is what we do.
This is what happens in a comedy club." It's funny how nobody's ever complained after a band is on stage and somebody starts screaming, like, you know, you'll catch someone in the audience doing something fucked up, and they'll stop shows. Paul Stanley from Kiss did it because some asshole, Axl Rose, has done it. And these guys that will scream at some dickhead in the audience, and the artist is right to do it. People don't leave and go, I want my money back. They weren't singing at that moment. They're like, what a cool moment that was. But, I hate the way people think that they should have input into stand-up.
You shouldn't. Sit, enjoy the show, or don't enjoy it. And if you don't, fucking leave.
Okay, I don't even know what this dumb woman's name is, by the way. Of course, she's just some fucking fat blogger, I'm sure. But this is, go to the top, Sam. It's just about, she's at the comedy club, whatever, and she talks about, so she says Tosh starts making, some very generalizing, declarative statements about rape jokes always being funny. How can a rape joke not be funny? Rape is hilarious, etc. And she says, I don't know why he was so repetitive about it, but I felt provoked because I, for one, don't find them funny and never have. So I didn't appreciate Daniel Tosh, and then she writes, or anyone, telling me I should find them funny. So I yelled out, actually, rape jokes are never funny. See, here's what this fucking bitch does. She sets it up so her rude interruption of an artist's performance is acceptable. Here's what happened, dummy. You went to a show, you didn't like what was said, so instead of quietly leaving, I felt provoked. Who gives a fuck? You rudely... Here's what she should have said. I was watching a show, I didn't like what I heard, so I rudely... Interrupted the guy doing a fucking show. That is
fucking up everyone's experience, by the way.
An artist was on stage performing. I didn't like what he said, so instead of being a big girl and going home, I had to seek attention for myself and make it about myself by yelling out. So I yelled out, actually, rape jokes are never funny. Which is, first of all, a lie. Carlin did a brilliant joke on this years ago, a point about what jokes are, where you put the emphasis. So I hate this woman's guts immediately. And then she says, I did it because even though being, and then she puts in quotes, disruptive is against my nature, I felt that sitting there...
I doubt that, by the way.
I felt that sitting there and saying nothing or leaving quietly would have been against my values as a person and as a woman. So basically, what you're saying is allowing an artist to perform without interruption is against your values as a person and as a woman. So what you're saying is you have to agree with an artist to not interrupt what he's doing.
To not interrupt them.
So if that guy was painting something that religiously she disagreed with, say he was painting something she found objectionable as a woman. If you're a woman and you back Islam... radical Islam, you're a pretty interesting woman to me. So I guess if that guy was, say, painting something Islamic or praising Islam, I guess you should go over and throw paint on it because an artist is giving something that you object to.
She felt provoked.
Yeah, she felt provoked.
So she had to. What if she was watching a Broadway show and the subject matter was something she didn't agree with? Would she stand up and interrupt the actors in the middle of a fucking live performance, just like a comic is doing, a live performance? Would she do that and feel that she was justified?
She might. But if she did it in a movie, everybody in the movie would go, shut the fuck up,
bitch.
Well, think of Book of Mormon.
That's
some edgy shit.
Maybe she wouldn't like that.
I don't see people standing up and going, whoa, I don't like what you're doing right there.
Bitch.
So she says, I don't sit there while someone tells me how I should feel about something as profound and damaging as rape.
He's not telling you, you dummy.
And by the way...
he's not talking to you personally, you dummy.
Yes, you do sit there because you've paid to go to a comedy club and hear what the artist is saying. You don't have to agree with it. And if you don't like the show and you walk up to the manager and go, I'd like a refund, okay. That, to me, is a fair course of action.
I got a question, Jimmy. Is it ever acceptable to heckle a comedian?
Never.
There you go.
For what?
There you go.
Your opinion as an audience member doesn't need to be heard by anybody else.
Yep.
It is very acceptable to walk out of his show.
Yeah.
It's very acceptable to ask for your money back.
Is it acceptable if you don't like what you heard from a comic to go home and blog about it?
Yes.
There you go.
That's your opinion.
There you go.
You are allowed to voice your opinion. Yeah, I don't begrudge this woman. I can't comprehend wanting to blog about it.
Right.
Again, it's just this little fucking, please do something. But, sure, that's acceptable. It was an experience you had that you didn't enjoy.
But she didn't just do that. She fucking blurted out shit during a live performance.
Well, then she played the victim. That's what people do. They play the fucking victim.
Yeah.
And then she says, after I called out to him, Tosh paused for a moment and he goes, hey, wouldn't it be funny if that girl got raped by like 5 guys right now? Like right now.
Hilarious.
What if a bunch of guys just raped her? And then she said, I, completely stunned and finding it hard to process what was happening, but knowing I needed to get out of there, immediately nudged my friend, who was completely stunned as well.
Oh, yeah.
And we hightailed it out of there. It was humiliating, of course.
Hightail's easy to fuck.
Especially since the audience guffawed in response to Tosh, their eyes following us as we made our way out of there. I didn't hear what the rest of what he said about me. So here's what happened.
Good.
This fucking dummy rudely interrupts.
Yeah.
Tosh smashes her. Because no reasonable person, baby, thinks that Tosh is saying she should be raped in a comedy club. No rational person believes, in the context of a comedy stage, when the audience is laughing, that he is saying, I really want her to be raped, all kidding aside.
Yeah.
If you think that, you're a fucking dummy. And if it wasn't the rape joke, it'd be something else.
Yeah.
And then the lobby, she spoke with the girl, blah, blah, blah. And at the end, she writes, I should probably add that having to basically flee while Tosh was enthusing about how hilarious it would be if I was gang raped in that small claustrophobic room was pretty viscerally terrifying and threatening all the same.
Not really a small room. Been there.
Even if the actual scenario was unlikely to take place. Right there.
Oh.
She admits she knows that that's not a real scenario.
Right.
But what she does, the same way how this fucking cunt set up her rude interruption to justify it, she now sets up why, even though I know this is ridiculous, here's why everything I'm doing and saying right now is acceptable, and it's a fleeing. This, she has to justify. She knows that she's a fucking shit, and she is just justifying what she wants to say. Where'd that go? At the end, she goes, unlikely to take place. The suggestion of it is violent enough and was meant to put me in my place. No, the suggestion, the response was responding to your heckle. Right. You fucking dummy. She would have a legit argument if Tosh was doing his act and then singled her out for no reason.
And just started railing
and going,
her about
wouldn't it be
rape?
funny if that girl in the white shirt got raped? Like, because that's taking a private person and publicly saying something really harsh for no reason. Like, and even then, as a comedy club, I would side with him.
Yeah,
but I would understand her being annoyed.
That would be rougher.
I would be a rougher one to explain.
Not that this is rough, by the way.
And at the end, she goes, please reblog and spread the word.
Oh, really?
Why do you need the word? If it's so offensive,
right?
Why do you want that spread out there? Oh, that's right. Now you're a part of the story, and you're the victim, and you want to be noticed. Your blogs weren't doing it, so now you want this to do it.
And she wants him shut down.
Oh, I hate this fucking chick, and anyone that likes her is a dummy.
Yes.
So I don't even watch Tosh's show. I've heard it's great. I mean, literally, Louis said good things about it. Kyle said it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And I don't know Tosh. I've met him once or twice. He interviewed me once for a Comedy Central. He's a very nice dude.
You don't need to know the person to defend what's right.
But you know what kind of a comic is. He's an edgier comic. This drives me fucking crazy. But I'm not shitting on him for apologizing because I really do get it. Like, when you're making, he has millions at stake, dude. I mean, Daniel Tosh is fucking making money. Yeah. It's just not worth it when his show is already edgy. Comedy Central gives this guy a lot of leeway. It's not worth it.
I bet she sits there going, I made him apologize. Look what I did. Yeah. I made him. Ugh.
And I've really, I've thought about the apology in general that we hear almost on a daily basis a lot lately. And the reason why I don't have a problem with it anymore is because these guys are just put out there by themselves without their company or anybody supporting and helping them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So now I understand it completely that these guys, and we've been there, We've been there. You know, XM at the time hired us to do an edgy show, and then we went too edgy, I guess, one day, even though any day someone could take a sound clip and try to make something of it.
Yeah.
And then you expect your bosses and your company to back you because they understand exactly what you're about, and they should understand that all we're trying to do is entertain or make the audience laugh. And there you realize, holy fuck, we're out there with a fucking, we're on a raft with no fucking paddle in the middle of an ocean.
Alone.
And you got to do what you got to do, unfortunately. And that's why you see these apologies, these fake fucking apologies, because no one backs you.
No one backs you.
No one's there for you when it matters and counts.
You know who they back?
No one.
South Park. Because South Park
is
refuses to, like the way South Park handles shit,
Right.
Go fuck yourself, and they move on and do something harsher.
Well, this guy's despicable.
Well, that.